Here you go. Get a clank.
Oh, wow.
There.
Oh, and then
Okay.
All
Hell yeah.
Hey, cheers, guys.
Oh man. Okay, so here's the real clank.
Fuck.
I got layers. You see mine? I got layers.
Dude, mine look like yours. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Here he goes.
Uh-oh.
I'm just holding it in like a G.
Those tears in your eyes say
You should announce our Patreon. Hello, we have a Patreon.
You can do 10, bro. You can do 10. You the thug.
Shit.
It's the back of the throat that kills you.
That is the back. But when you talk, it is. If you just sit chill, it's all right. That's not expired.
Ask me a question.
It's fucking hot now. Ugh. Fuck, this shit is hot as fuck. It's so hot.
Let's go.
I got a little bit in there.
Hey, Hey, Damien, I want you to guess how many topics I have on my shit list this week.
Oh, I love to hear this.
10.
No.
4.
We're gonna keep this. No, I'm just kidding. I have one.
Whoa.
I was gonna say some silly shit like that, but I was like,
I really like for half a second thought I was gonna sit here and just like make you get like that's
I'm
stupid.
gonna say I am very proud of you.
Oh, and I got 4 shout outs.
I got one shout out myself.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll do the shit list. This will be a quick one. Well, I mean, it should be a quick one. It's probably going to lead to some conversation, though, for sure. I don't know. Texas is wilding, bro, because, like, we got some more Texas shit.
That's what we do.
Be careful when you say we.
Well,
with
let's
some
hear
bullshit,
it. Yeah, let's
but-
hear it. Let's hear it first. Let's hear it first.
okay.
Let's hear it
I can't
first.
be
Our
as bad as
state.
Florida man.
I
Okay.
mean
It
our
can't be as bad as
state.
Florida
True,
man. Florida
true
man
that,
does
though.
some stuff.
True that.
I mean our state, not like
us. Yeah,
as-
big respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big respect. I live here. I don't make the decisions.
I got
Right.
you. I got you.
These aren't my household rules. So what I got here is a new Texas bill has been proposed that would brand parents of trans children as quote unquote child abusers, and if they support their children. So, and another detail is like Texas Republicans willing to sacrifice personal freedom for government regulation is what they say. So basically, they're saying like if a parent has a child that says that they're trans, and the parent enables their child to transition in their adolescence, they'll be labeled as child abusers.
Abusive.
I agree with that.
I agree with it too.
I agree with that.
I agree.
100%. As
Absolutely, I agree.
again, your keywords that you said as a
As
okay.
an
After
adolescent.
that,
Right.
do whatever the fuck
As soon
you
as
want.
you turn 18,
But
whatever you want to do.
right here,
But before then,
nah, absolutely
nah,
the fuck not.
That's not how we're rolling.
Nah, how we
Okay,
doing this
okay.
shit.
So-
that money, Damien will
That's
agree
not
with
how
that.
we're rolling.
Okay, so-
I do fucking agree
So
with that.
okay, so
Fuck
here's the
that.
thing, right? I sort of agree with this too. However, I don't think it's as black and white as what it says, right? So it's like here's the thing: you can support your child in wanting to do what they want to do without having them go through a physical transition, right? And that's
Agreed,
kind
but
of that's
once you-
kind of where
once-
I'm
yeah.
at.
Hold on.
No,
Can we?
no,
Can we?
no.
Oh,
Once you
okay.
start-
Okay.
once
So
you
I
start-
so I definitely agree with you.
Like
I definitely
hormones
agree.
and stuff.
Hormones and stuff.
Yeah,
But-
it's
That's the
irreversible.
Can we?
Yeah.
Can we wait until they're like
18. That's just simple.
at least?
Even
At least?
fuck-
Oh,
at
I
least,
was gonna
at
say
least
yeah,
teenage.
like 15 or 16.
At least teenage.
Yeah,
I'm okay with like
15,
15,
16,
16,
17.
because you're about to be an adult and get on your own. If you want to do that late, I'm cool. But we talking about 7, 8, 9, 10, and all that
Yeah,
shit.
that's where I think
absolutely the
it's
fuck
weird.
not.
I have a stepdaughter
know,
who's
man.
15 right now, and she is getting into her own stuff. But if she decided, oh, I want to switch it up, I can't tell her
What
no
can you
because she has
say?
her own mind and freedom now.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I
Exactly.
can't.
Enough.
So I can't be
Right.
like you, but you can't consider it child abuse on my end.
15 and
That's
16.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
15,
Well, yeah,
16
like-
is kind of wiggle
So
to
if
me.
they
I
had-
still
I
think,
think so,
it
too.
I think it
age
should be
limit.
18 though.
This is the way I put it.
Personally, I think it should be.
If
I'm
they're not old enough to either vote, buy a gun, drive a car,
Or provide
buy
for themselves.
alcohol, or provide
Or
for themselves,
then no.
They should
But
not
they
be
can
making
drive. They
decisions
can
like
drive. They can drive and work at 15.
No, so I'm saying
Is
until
what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
you're
tell
right,
you.
though.
They can
Until-
drive
That
and
is
work
true.
at 15.
when
But
you
it's
can
not all
provide
the
for
time. Those are
yourself,
special cases usually.
man.
Ish.
those are not the majority of people.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me
You
wrong.
usually
Well, but so are
usually have to
trans
go through
people.
some- you usually
Trans
have to go
people are
through some
also
stuff,
not the majority.
Don't-
of
But you
people.
usually have
Don't
to
get
go
me
through
wrong,
some stuff
I am
just
not
to get those
disagreeing.
privileges.
Maybe that's the same case.
I'm
then.
not disagreeing.
I think if they could provide
You
for
see what I'm saying?
themselves,
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm
say you
good
go
then.
and do the
But I have
correct
a-
psychiatrical treatment.
Like, yeah.
You actually learn the processes that will happen to you once you undergo this
Sure.
this therapy and everything. So long as you're informed about it and you know all the issues and know that it's gonna be irreversible,
and I'm not helping you pay for
And
it,
I'm not helping you pay for it?
go ahead.
knock yourself out.
Go ahead. But until
Your,
then,
your choices and minds are different.
It's tough.
But guess what? You don't have to answer to me in the end.
you sure don't, because you're gonna be an adult and do whatever you want to do. But at least while you here with me, you're gonna do what I say.
So 18's the age.
Look,
Well, Damien was saying
Okay.
you'd be
Not-
willing
look,
to compromise.
I
Like
would
15,
compromise
16.
only because some cases, right? There's kids that go to a lawyer that can take care of themselves and
That
the
get,
legal
yeah,
guardianship.
that-
they
that
get their
become- that become their own legal
I
guardians.
can't
yeah.
remember the term.
Oh,
but
yeah,
you know what
no,
I'm
you're
talking
right.
about.
Yeah.
Now if that happens,
Yeah.
then a younger age, of course. But
Yeah.
in my household, I'm not going. Like I will not
if
let
the
Christian or Makai be putting on makeup and shit and painting their nails and shit in,
I get
in my
it.
crib. Like
No, I
that
get
shit's
it.
not fucking happening.
But
bro.
I'm
What if
telling
that's
you,
what
like,
they
I
wanted
get
to
that.
do though?
they can do it when they
This
leave.
is-
That's all I'm saying.
This is where I'm at.
That's all I'm saying.
I
Do it
told
when
my
you
daughter,
leave.
my 10-year-old daughter, I was like,
nah, man.
if you step into my house with any other hair color other than something that is natural, you're not gonna be there. So long as you're
That's
in my
different. That's different. She's
That
saying.
it
That
is
is way
different.
To be
different.
like
house.
I
It
said,
is,
she's
but it's
He's
the
using
rules
it as
of the
an
house,
example.
So I
though. It's the
agree.
rules
So
of the
I
house,
agree.
though.
So I agree
It's the
with what
rules
y'all
of
are
the house,
saying.
though. Yeah.
But so
Don't
you're
take it
saying
away.
it's
I'm
the
not.
age.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the
not
rule of the
agreeing.
house.
You said it's the age.
It's a little because when you get to a certain age, then it's like because when Christian, and let's be real,
Right.
when Christian becomes
Right.
a teenager and he
Right.
decides like he want to be like fucking and doing all that other stuff, right?
Right.
Normal parents would be like, at least wait, wear a condom, and give them the whole whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if Christian is like 12, 13, and he's like, man, I want to fuck bitches now.
Right.
You gonna allow it?
No.
I'd have the conversation with him that it's probably not the best thing he should do, and
No,
he should wait. But I'm not gonna be around him all the time.
But when he's 15
So
and 16, right? But when he's 15 and
it's
16
gonna be
and
the
he's
same
older,
consistent conversation.
I don't know. So
I can't say.
but they're mind wise, I think
I don't think there's much difference.
Because-
otherwise.
growing up,
I think so.
I knew when you're like 11, 12, you kind of figure out like you knew some gay dudes when they're like 11 or 12, right?
I did.
Granted,
You're
it's
like, that
different
guy's
now.
gay as hell.
So it's different. It's different now because transsexual, pansexual, all that other stuff is coming into fruition. But back in the days, you were either gay or straight, right? Lesbian, not lesbian.
Even-
now
even-
they're coming-
even when I was
nowadays,
growing
that's
up.
what it is. There is no all these different
But they're
fucking
good-
things.
but I'm
that
saying
came out
it's-
with.
it's the-
I
I'm
mean,
the same
maybe to
thing.
you, but like generally speaking, like
Generally
You
speaking,
just talked
that's-
about this like a month ago. Like,
Okay.
stop making so many things. Just keep it.
I read a
Simple.
story.
No, but
about
I'm saying,
a
but
woman
people are making.
who
Right.
was
I like
this is the things that she said about herself.
Uh-huh.
She is a woman that's a man that's a dog.
Okay.
So that's what she legally put down on her documents in New York City.
That's a
The white
different
lady?
conversation.
Yes.
I heard that one.
But you can do that though. That's all that stuff is the same thing.
Guess when she
to me.
decided to act like a dog. When she was able to get out, support herself, and act like a dog.
Okay,
She
so-
wasn't acting like a dog.
I got
But
you.
we're
know
talking
what I'm
about
saying? Like-
transitioning though.
Okay, so
Like,
here's
it's different.
here's where I think I cut the line. Right, is I definitely agree with you. You should at least be 18 and then do whatever.
You take care
but,
of yourself.
Okay, but also at the same time, if you're 15 and you have a freedom of mind and you consent, like the child consents, I don't need anybody knocking on my door like the police or
Right,
whatever.
like it's your problem.
Right. That's now my daughter or my son or whatever. If this is what you want to do and you can make up your own mind, you can get your own lawyer and you can do whatever. Go ahead and make that transition. But you making that decision on your own,
It shouldn't affect
affect
the
me
parents.
as a
Yeah.
parent.
Okay.
I agree.
so
That's
then
what I mean by
I
that.
want to play devil's advocate.
That's what I
then.
mean by
Okay.
that.
Then how do you feel
But it
about
should.
older dudes that go after these 15 and 16-year-olds? The 15 and 16-year-olds give their consent.
Yikes.
What?
They give their consent.
To the parents?
No, to the other guy.
No, to the
To the
old
other
ass
person.
dude.
No, but
They're old
but
enough to
I'm
make
trying-
that decision, though,
I
right?
understand the devil's advocate,
Yeah,
right? Where
that's
you're
what I'm
like,
saying. We have to draw a line somewhere.
but if you're
But
if
it
you're
won't
my
happen,
child,
and that's why I
right?
keep saying.
But if you're
You
my
heard me
child,
say similar shit to that. It won't happen though.
But how many
won't happen, though.
how many young girls or
It won't
dudes
happen, though.
are going out there telling their parents, "Oh, hey, I'm in love with a 35-year-old."
But they're not telling them no.
Exactly. But
regardless-
that's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying.
But regardless.
And
they're
also,
not
you don't have to be in love to fuck.
But people are trained.
Right.
Okay,
But
but
they-
if they're
but
trying
parents
to
are still
transition,
held-
but here's
they're
the
still held
difference.
responsible
But here's
for
the
it.
difference.
Oh, for sure.
If they're
right.
transitioning, that's some need to know shit.
It's not necessarily because they've passed bills to where it just stays between
Well,
the
yeah, the doctor and the physician
them.
and the person. Yeah,
The
kids.
parents-
yeah,
the parents
I think it's actually a
Or to the
similar
point
age.
to where they have no say so now.
Yeah, well, no,
It's
I
getting to
think
that
it's.
point,
I
yeah.
think it actually is that age though. It's
Yeah.
like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Like if you're like
You don't have
around
to-
that
you
age,
don't have to
yeah,
tell your parent,
like
yeah.
you can give your own
It's to that
consent.
point right now.
But I'm saying like
Maybe this
you're
bill
giving
would
two
like
different things.
revoke that.
Well, I'm saying
Or
it's
help it?
It follows along the
No.
same line of how you're saying that
Yeah.
they're able
No,
to
because it would hold
well,
the parents
I
accountable.
mean,
You see what I'm saying?
That's where I'm tracing the line at. You're saying consent. If they're old enough to make that consent on one thing, then they should be old enough to make.
Yeah,
the
it needs to be
consent
like across the
on
board.
other
So-
things. It has to be
Yeah.
across the board.
Yeah.
I got you.
So,
You have to draw a line.
Right.
You
So,
have to draw a
for
line.
example,
Yeah, because
this
I would
is-
say the seriousness.
You have
Of,
to draw a
I would
line.
say
That
the
makes
seriousness
sense.
is pretty much the same.
Exactly. The seriousness
Yeah.
is the same. It still affects their life.
Because
going
if you're
forward.
if
Yeah.
you're my 15-year-old daughter and you want to transition, I can talk with you about it and we can do that. But if you're my 15-year-old daughter and you're like, hey, I'm in love with some 30-something-year-old dude who wants to fuck, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Yeah,
Both choices,
right,
both choices
right.
affect the life, though.
both right.
Both
Okay.
of them affect the life in a serious way. Because keep in mind, once you transition, you can't go back. And if you are able to go back, you're never going to be the same.
Right, it ain't.
It's
never gonna be the same,
No,
right?
it won't. Even if you could get your body to look exactly the same, like your psyche would be like totally different.
Oh man.
That's a that's a very
That's
thin line.
tough.
But I'm saying
And,
like
I
that's
mean, let's not even talk about body dysmorphia too. Like I already got that, and I'm just like a straight dude. Like
so it's a okay.
Everyone
Alright.
has it on some level.
Hold
Yes.
on. So to bring it
Everyone has it on some
back,
level.
so to bring it back, right? So it's on your shit list because they just passed a law in general.
No, they haven't passed it. It's been proposed, but like
Okay,
the idea, like in general, seems like kind of nuts
It's
to me.
like what the hell?
It does
I got
until
you.
you actually process it out. That's the thing a lot of people do. They just hear the surface level of
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
without
I
thinking
kinda like
there's things that go along with it. That
I
are
like it.
connected
So I
to
see
it.
your
I like
point, but
it.
I definitely understand
Because
why you would
I feel
disagree
like
as
it-
well.
They made a great
It
argument.
makes parents
And I
more
agree.
accountable for what the fuck their children are doing.
Well,
or
here's the thing.
that
I think.
around.
Well, here's the thing. I think.
agree.
I think it's.
Like,
I
you
think
know
it's
what I'm saying?
twofold, right? Because like, it's kind of like if you're an involved parent and then your kid goes behind your back, then that's fucked, right?
But
if
most
you're
of these
like,
kids, you're not around, or you're not there, and you're not. What do
well,
you
I feel like
expect?
if you're like neglecting your kid and then they
Right.
go off and do some stuff, then you are held responsible. So
But
it
then-
almost seems like
but
you
if
should
you're
have
not around in your
expectations.
kid's life, what are they
neglect
gonna see
takes
nowadays?
Many
Oh,
different ways.
Right.
It
Oh,
shows up in
100%.
many different ways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Neglect shows up in a lot. Someone who gives their kids all the gifts and toys in the world can still be neglected.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Someone who's,
I don't know. I
who's
don't know if-
helicoptering around their kids all the time
I
can
just
still be neglected.
I just don't feel like strongly about like I definitely agree like why y'all would think that, but I don't want to talk to my daughter at like 15, 16 or son 15, 16
Right.
years old and then being like, "Well, now because you want to change, I might get arrested for it." Like now my life is on the line
How
because
hard-
you want to be different.
Well,
But it's
so
not.
I
It's not.
can't.
It's not. But that's not what it comes
not.
down to. What it
Because
comes
all
down
you
to
do-
is
all
all you
you
say
do
is
is
you're not gonna
wait.
be that way.
Just wait. Wait.
Like,
But it's
Two,
a lot.
So
three
this
years,
is yeah.
and then you go ahead and
So
get
this
it done.
that was actually where I was about to
yeah,
go with that.
that's
It's
it.
like
Just
I mean
wait.
I've never had the desire to transition, like so
Right.
I can't really speak from that point of view or perspective. But
Mm-hmm.
like I wonder how difficult that would be for somebody who wanted to do that was told to wait.
To wait.
You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
as a parent, like you can have that conversation with your kid, right? And you'd be like, okay, like I understand this is something you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sit on it. Like let's give it some time and see if you still feel this way in
But
a
you know
couple
what?
years. And then like if
That's-
you still feel this way, then like we can pull the trigger.
That's a bigger symptom of our society today, to where we lack patience.
You're not wrong. You're
we
not
as people
wrong.
today lack patience.
But at the same time, too, like with somebody with like body dysmorphia though, or in this case, like like wanting to transition, like if their opinion like doesn't change though,
Then you're fine. Then.
But
but
here's-
Just
that
wait.
could be
Yeah,
that
you
could
just wait.
also
here's-
be bad for
okay.
their psyche too though.
But
Like
here's
if
the
they're
thing.
forced to stay
So-
that way the whole time.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
Like,
why? You know why it's
I
kind
feel
of
like
in a
it's
bad
complicated.
situation though. It is very complicated.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because as soon as we mentioned that and both of y'all agreed, the first thing he said, and it could have gone for you as well. I wasn't paying attention. Is well, we're not going to be living under the same house. So if they have to wait until
that's-
18,
Yeah.
that's 3 years.
And
of them
even then, they
knowing
might not be able
you
to
don't
move
even.
out.
That's them like
And forget about affording
hating
certain,
on
like, the
you because
procedures
you're like,
and
my
the
dad
warrants and
doesn't
stuff.
even want me to be here with him
So-
because I want to be a
Right.
different.
That's
like,
tough.
that's
So
mentally.
then I will
tough.
say,
That's tough.
then mentally it's not tough to me because then I'll be like, look,
To
so
you.
No, yeah,
no, hold on.
to
So
you.
can I explain
you
why?
mean?
'Cause I'm gonna explain
no,
why.
You didn't mean to him. Like,
Yeah.
you meant, like,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm gonna sit my
Generally
son
speaking.
down,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna say, so the reason why this is gonna be the case is because you do that, then I gotta go to jail because you want to do that. So if you just want to do that, at least keep it until you go somewhere else with it.
Okay.
Because eventually, at some point in time, right? Even if he just did it, I would get mad. But eventually, at some point in time, it's my child.
Yeah.
So it's gonna roll.
So you're just saying
It's gonna roll.
So you're just saying it's fucked that like
In
you
that
that you
particular
would
case.
get in
That
trouble.
the
for
parents
it.
get-
Well, see, and that's why I agree
you know what I'm
with you.
saying?
I agree
No,
with
that's
That's
why
what
I
I'm
agree with
saying.
you.
As being your
So,
child,
like-
still.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
You have the
You gotta
responsibility.
wait.
Right.
So then
I'm
just
not
wait.
going to jail, bro.
And like,
You-
like I said,
The
if
fuck,
you want
bro?
to do that, if you
Nah.
want to do that,
Here's another.
I love you, but
here's
no.
another
But
angle.
you're doing it once
Here's-
you're a legal adult.
Here's another angle.
Okay.
Right. Here's another angle. Right.
I'm good, bro.
What about like obesity in kids?
Same thing. I feel it's the same thing.
Kind of, right?
I feel the same thing. Yeah. It's
Kind of.
across the board.
Right.
It's across the board. It has to go across the
I,
board.
I like your thought about it has to be even.
It has to
It
go
does.
across the
All
board.
those
I
kind of
agree.
things
It
gotta
Which
has
is
to go
fine,
across the
and
board.
I
It has
agree.
to go across
Like
the
there
So
board.
what
can't,
I'm
there
trying
can't be
to
like a
tell
little
you-
bit
You
of
can't
pull
pick and choose,
here,
yeah.
like a
I'm trying
little
to
bit
give
of
you the
loosen
other
here.
perspective
Like,
of-
I call it wishy-washy
hard for
bullshit.
them.
We can't
That's
do
what I
that.
call
As
it.
well.
Yeah.
You cannot do that
You know
because
what I
once
mean?
we
I
do
get it
that,
both
then
ways.
then
But
it creates issues because you're like,
Well, there's
if you're
incons-
doing
agree
this
with
here,
the
then
law.
why aren't you doing this here? Yeah,
There's inconsistency.
Yeah.
I agree with the law completely.
These are valid, but
that they're
man,
trying to
come on.
pass, but also at the same time, like it's hard to tell a
It's
kid
just like
that
it
you.
just like doesn't make any sense the way that y'all have geared life for kids growing up.
But
Then
I
you
think,
drop that
I
kind
do
of
think
bill,
there's
like,
compromise though.
I
Kind of
think
like
that's
what
like
Peanut
a-
was
once
saying.
it, once it
Contradicts
changes,
itself,
as soon as
bro.
you become an adult, your
Yeah,
parents
but
have
also-
no more responsibility
but-
over you. The things that you do,
Yeah.
say, actions that you take, all on you.
This is
Right.
a crazy.
All on
This is
you.
a crazy time we're living in.
All on
It
you.
For
is-
even to have
it is
this,
nuts.
To have
for
this
you to
conversation,
even
right?
have this
Yeah.
conversation,
To have
is
this
It's
conversation,
crazy.
true, though,
it's
yeah.
nuts.
Talk to me
But we
10
have
years
to.
ago. This was
Never, not never talking about no shit like
I'd be a
this.
26-year-old.
I
having a
do
law
think
about
there's a
it.
middle ground though. Like
bro.
if this were to go into place, there'd be like exceptions where like if you are like under whatever age they choose and you still want to do it, then it's kind of like what you said. Like
There's always
you just got to go like kind of like getting a permit.
Yeah, 'cause
like you
like
got to
you
go
said,
through like an
yeah, you
education
gotta go-
course.
you have to
and
go
then,
through certain things.
Yeah, and then like you know
Wait,
pass
like
Like
What
how,
age group
like
is
how
that?
Damien was saying,
Yeah.
that as a 15, 16-year-old, you can legally become your own guardian.
Yeah.
You have to go
can-
through that process.
Yeah,
Dwayne
yeah,
Wade's
correct.
going through that,
and
right?
then you can do that.
Yeah,
What?
and
Dwayne
I
Wade's
know,
going
then you
through
can-
his
and I know
own
there's an
son or daughter.
Oh,
doing
he,
that?
Daughter,
he
yeah.
ain't going through it. It's happening.
It's happening. Yeah,
It's happening.
How old
Yeah.
are they? How old are they?
It's a boy.
'Cause I can't- I don't know,
It's
is that a boy
it's
or a girl?
boy.
It's a
It's
boy.
a boy.
It's going
that's
to a girl.
What's his
transitioning
transition?
A girl.
Yeah.
And how old is that child?
Like, gotta be maybe 12, 13, somewhere around there.
yeah, and I was gonna say
But
like
it
the counter.
started like 4 years
Bro.
ago.
Yeah,
It started
and I was
But
gonna
just
say
blown out like girl clothes, hair weird, like just lip gloss popping, lip
Different
oh,
times,
bro.
man, I guess.
And,
Different times.
and bro, I said no disrespect to Wade, he's my boy, but I was like, bro, that is wild, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel
That's not
either.
I was gonna
happening,
say
bro.
like
I don't know
as
how
far
I
as like the
Jerome
whole
did it.
like transition thing
Stop
goes,
playing
Yeah.
with
the
me.
counter
I don't
argument
know.
would be
Stop
like,
playing with me.
You right.
why can't somebody
It's
just
hard.
change if
Come
they
on,
feel
man.
that? But for me, I think it's because a lot of people don't also think of the people who do it and then regret transitioning, and
Exactly.
then that's like way worse.
This is me.
So I think
What
it's
I'm
kind of
gonna
like it's
say-
twofold.
What I'm going to say is going to sound ignorant to a bunch of people, but it's the truth.
Oh.
A parent's job is to lead and teach their children. So if your child is coming up to you saying say it's a boy, saying that he is a girl,
Right.
or a little girl running up to you saying that she is a boy, it's your job to teach and correct them. No, you're not. Physically, you are a little boy. You have the parts of a little boy.
Right.
Or physically, you are a little girl. You have the parts of a little girl.
Right.
Regardless of how you feel, feelings come and go.
Right.
There's a reason why no one is ever happy 24/7,
Right.
because you can't maintain that. You're gonna go through ups and downs.
So what
gonna
you're
go through
saying is
ebbs
like
and
a kid's
flows.
opinion can change.
It
rapidly.
changes rapidly.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Just
I don't
go
think
go
that's-
from how. Just follow the evolution of what they say when they want to grow.
Yeah, there
it
shouldn't
starts
be
like
anybody
first I want to be a
hating on
superhero,
that. I get that. There
and
shouldn't
then
be
it goes
anybody-
and it grows. Yeah,
Yeah.
There shouldn't
so
be
you
anybody hating on that opinion.
you can't take what a child says as gospel.
Here's
and,
an idea.
and
Here's an
run
idea
with it
though,
like
right?
that.
So like what you're saying is like you need to like lead and correct, right?
Yes.
So like here's an angle, right? Is like you don't necessarily have to like shut everything down.
You don't shut
either, though.
everything
Like
down.
you could just be like
No, you
open-minded,
explain, though.
but
You
instead,
explain,
yeah, well, like
You
you can,
explain.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
also it's like if they say like, oh, I want to be a boy, and you'd be like, okay, that's cool, and then like you can talk about it, but then just kind of let it be its thing. Like I think what you're getting at, like the problem is like the kid will say that. And then right away they're like, all right, like let's get you hormones and stuff. It's like no, like let's like pump
Well,
brakes
that's
a little
what
bit.
happens. Yeah,
That's
that's
what,
what
right.
happens now.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at.
At
So
a
like
young
the
age.
idea is like you're not just like shutting it down and like not allowing them to be who
Exactly.
they are, but like
You're
you're
explaining
giving them
things,
the
yeah.
opportunity.
You're teaching and
to
it's-
figure it
Yeah,
out.
you teach them. You
Right.
open them.
Yeah,
their minds
that's
up to
kind
it.
of yeah.
Like this is why.
That's
this is
that's a
things.
that's a good shit list.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a
It's
good
very
one.
good. Yeah.
Mine wasn't even that good. I don't even want to say mine now.
Mine's not gonna be that good either. Like mine
Dang,
ain't gonna
sorry,
be
guys.
that good.
I was
I
hey,
don't
man,
have
that was a
one.
good one, man. That
I
was a
don't
good
never
one.
have.
Yeah.
I don't
I
never
like
have
that.
Hell yeah.
But that's impressive. He only had one though.
Well, yeah,
That is
it
true.
wasn't planned. It just kind of happened that way. But like
Yeah.
when I read it though, I was like, we're probably gonna talk about this like for a
Yeah.
minute. So
And that definitely.
yeah, that
happened.
was good. Yeah,
And-
cool.
And this is not a moving on. This is just a nice.
This is a
post-op.
transition.
Nice transition.
Yeah, it was a good. It was just,
Nice transition.
you only